Hi, I'm Lynn Clark, NEW Master Gardener in Green Bay.
Hi, I'm Helen Herlesh, Master Gardener in Green Bay, volunteer as well.
And today we're going to be talking about how to grow blueberries in containers in Wisconsin. Why would you want to grow blueberries in the first place? Well, blueberries are a very healthy fruit. They are very high in antioxidants. They are very high in fiber and other microvitamins, minerals, and are a very healthy addition to any diet.
Fortunately, the soil in Wisconsin has a pH of over 7, and we need a 4.5 to 5 pH soil to grow blueberries. We are going to create a soilless media for our blueberries in this pot. We're going to use 1/3 pine bark, 1/3 perlite, and 1/3 sphagnum moss, or the peat moss.
Now we've placed in our container approximately 1/3 of the pine bark, 1/3 of the perlite, and 1/3 of the peat. Now we're going to, you can either use your hands or a trowel, mix this thoroughly together. Kind of like making coleslaw.
Yeah, or whatever. Fun.
Now when you've got it pretty thoroughly mixed, and you can see by the different textures and colors when you've got a good mix, we're going to be adding that soilless medium into our container. Now this is a 5-gallon container, and it has had extra drainage holes put in the bottom of it. You want to be very sure that you have proper drainage, otherwise the water will collect and will rot the roots of your plant.
Okay. It looks like we need a little bit more.
You want to mix up enough medium so that you have it to approximately the top of your container. Now if you notice, the color of the container is green. If you use a black container, the black attracts heat and holds the heat, and blueberry roots are very sensitive to the heat and will not produce well and will have plant dieback. So you want to make sure that you're using a colored pot. In this case it's green, so it kind of blends in with the weeds once they start growing.
The cultivar that we're going to be planting today is called Pink Lemonade, and I'm going to take it out of the container. It's been on the market for about 2 years, and it's got beautiful spring color with white to turning pink little flowers, and then in the summer it gets these gorgeous blueberries that start out green, and then as they mature turn into a really beautiful dark pink. And then in the fall it has beautiful orangey foliage, so it'll be a nice attractive addition to your garden. I'm loosening the soil a little bit, and I'm going to put it in this soilless medium that we made, and I'm going to put it about level with the container. It does look like we need to add a little bit more of our soilless mix. Like we've got it about level with the container, and now we're ready to do the next step.
Now that your blueberry has been planted in its container, it is fine to leave as a patio container planted. You can put it in an area where it's going to get 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. You will have to water it thoroughly, and that means not wet but moist. And how would you tell that? How often do you have to water your plant? It's not on a schedule. Stick your finger, bare finger, to about an inch into the soil. If it feels dry, then you need to water. Water thoroughly but gently until you see water coming out of the bottom of the holes. Let it thoroughly drain and it should be fine. After a successful summer of growing your blueberry in a container out of the ground, you are going to need to have to bury the pot, the entire container, into the ground to the level of the container in order to insulate the roots from the freezing cold. That's going to help your plant survive the winter. Your other option is to plant directly into the soil, putting in the pot, digging your hole, putting in the pot, and setting it directly into the soil and moving the soil around it. That way you do not have to move the plant year in and year out. Move it out in the spring, move it in the fall.
If you choose to plant your blueberry bush into the ground, you want to make sure that you're putting it in full sun, and that also applies to if you're going to keep it on your patio. When we say full sun, we mean 8 hours of full sun. That's what the blueberries need in order to set a fruit and to have a harvest. Okay. We've dug a hole then that the container will fit in up to its rim. But before we put the container in the ground, we're going to want to add some rock. Okay. Whoa. And that's going to help with the drainage so that the soil doesn't block the drainage as it's coming out of our container. So if you have some space between your container, then you can fill it up with the soil that you took out when you were digging the hole. We have the container now in the ground, level with its rim is level with the ground here. And the next thing that we're going to do is to thoroughly water it. It's going to take a little while for this to sink in.
Establishing a new blueberry bush, you're going to need to supply it with an extra sulfur source. So we are going to be applying an elemental sulfur, which comes in a granular form like this. Now, for a new bush, you will apply it approximately 4 weeks after planting. Sprinkle it onto the soil according to your package directions. Work it in lightly. And then water. Once your blueberries have become established, you're going to feed them in early spring with another dose of the elemental sulfur granules. Water it in. Apply it according to the package directions. Approximately 3 weeks after you have applied your elemental sulfur supplement, which is a very slow releasing sulfur, you're going to need to supply with a quick release sulfur, and that is in the form of mere acid, which is a plant food available at most of your plant centers. You mix it into water according to the directions on the package, and water with the mere acid approximately 2.5 to 3 weeks throughout the summer, from late spring until midsummer.
The site that we've chosen is our square foot garden, and this gets our full sun requirement. And I just wanted to show you some of the cultivars that we planted last year. So this is our second year. This one is Polaris. This is our new one that we just planted, the Pink Lemonade. This is St. Cloud. And this one is North Blue. What you might want to do with your plants to protect them from the rabbits is put a little cage around here. That's what we have done. And also we put a meshy kind of top over it to protect the blueberries from the birds if you want to harvest some of them. So enjoy your blueberries.